Next up is the maid of honor, Carol Rione.
Goodness. He just spent like 2 minutes asking how to pronounce my last name and then completely botched my first name. Matt. Okay, so I had to write this well ahead of time. Well, more like a week ago. Well ahead of time. Because if I don't have something to read, I will ramble and lose it, and it won't be fun for anyone. So I'm sorry if it sounds like, just I'm reading because I am, because I don't want to lose it and cry. Just won't go well. Okay. So I must start this off with a sad fact. I don't remember meeting Kayla, or even Ben for that matter. Not really. For me, the memory has been lost under years of good times, a sea of parties, dinners, chats, late nights, bus rides, double-deckers, car trips, LANs, gaming parties, movie-going experiences like Game of Thrones, and discussions about so many things. I do remember some things clearly. In the spring of 2011, we did a day trip to the Museum of Science and Tech. The day was a grand adventure as we went through a strip mall and, like those hurricane things. We put Kayla in one of those. Did wonders for her hair. We went through the Rexall. We bought a gnome. We adopted him. Where is Alan? Where has he gone? We eventually ended up in Major Hill Park with, like those slingshot gliders. Yeah, that turned into heck with the wings. Let's just fling them at each other. Throughout the months leading up to the day, which was actually Kayla's birthday, I had the feeling that, this was the start of a beautiful relationship. Our core group of friends, Mary, Patty, Kayla, Maggie, and I, bonded over love of music, food, beer, and Jesus. Mostly beer at Pupitalia. Yeah. It didn't really matter that I'm a few years older than the rest of them. After all, it ain't the years, honey, it's the mileage. We all had known our sorrows, but we encouraged each other in the faith. I like to think that Kayla and I both learned an important lesson, maybe a little too early in life, but it's still an important one to learn. And that is, you'll never be a first-class human being or even a first-class woman until you learn to have some regard for human frailty. And believe me, Kayla is a first-class woman. She has certainly regarded my frailties on many occasions, and I have a healthy respect and some very fond memories of hers. I'll never forget that the black guy doesn't die in the book. If you want to know about that story, ask me later. Kayla has taught me many things over the years. There's no place like home, number one. Even if your home is a 2-room shoebox that is more hazardous to your health or you and your cat's health, than a packed city bus in the middle of flu season. Number two, there's nothing like home cooking, especially Kayla's. The smell of it in the evening is like victory. I can only think of that one time when it might have smelled like napalm. Luckily, I was homesick for the day and was able to put out the fire for her. And sidebar, because Ted is going to correct me later, the fire wasn't her fault. The oven needed to be cleaned. Number three, any statement or question like, I don't think I can finish my beer, can and should be construed as a challenge. And at that point, the only thing to do is accept it. And drink that beer. And this can be summarized in try not. Do or do not. There is no try. I have lost track of how much beer we have lost to this, or how many hours of sleep, specifically because of dancing, watching YouTube videos like Simon's Cat, my favorite, and Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Uno mas. But our lives shifted in the spring of 2013 when the newest Ben in our group, because at that time we knew 5, who was also one of Patty's roommates, was no longer just that. He and Kayla had started hanging out. As I got to know Ben better, I realized he adheres to the belief that it isn't who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you. And as such is very careful about what he does, always making sure everything is just right before making a move, even if that means taking 4 months to ask a girl out. And when they finally did, all of our friends said exactly that. Finally. As a couple, Ben and Kayla are almost of one mind. They seem to have been designed for one another. That isn't to say they don't have their struggles. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. So our world, with our faith, is not an easy one to live in. They have and will have their trials, but their faith and love for each other will see them through. I know this because it is the same faith on which Kayla and I built our friendship. We know that through serving others, we save ourselves. Their friendship as individuals and as a couple with me has certainly helped me more than they will ever know. When Kayla, ever ahead of things and extra prepared, asked me to be her maid of honor a year before Ben proposed. What else could I say except, as you wish? I've heard that what we do in life echoes in eternity, and the love and respect Ben and Kayla give to all of us will be echoing for ages to come. And so, such a perfectly matched pair should be together forever. And this past January, Ben made Kayla an offer she couldn't refuse. And we all said, it's about time. So, a few parting remarks. Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary. I'm truly honored and glad to be here with you at the end of these things. And I cannot wait to see your future together. So, to the bride and groom, if you'll raise your glass. To their future together, may the force be with you. For anyone who caught all of that and was counting, I referenced 19 movies and 1 TV show.